The Job Guys. What the world isn't watching.
What's happening, everybody? The Job Guys with you one more time. Nitro, Nick sitting right over there. Slope sitting right over here. And we are doing your review of the King and Queen of the Ring. First time they've ever had the dual pay-per-view name in there from Saudi Arabia this year. Nick, before we get into breaking it down match by match and where they're going to go next, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, letter grade, percentage grade, what do you got?
About a D, Ryan. I was bored. Not excited going in. I think we predicted, or I think most fans predicted the winners of most of these matches.
Yeah.
And the stories going in, Ryan, I mean, were they really good? Were the angles good? Was there excitement here? Do we care who wins this? Again, the matches, they weren't horrible. I don't think any match was like the worst thing I've ever seen. But I mean, again, matches are matches. We see great matches all the time.
All the time.
So for someone to say the pay-per-view had a lot of good matches, they all did.
They better.
Today, it's like, I've said this before. It's like someone saying, I bought a video game and the graphics were great. Well, it's 2024. I hope they were.
This ain't Mario Brothers.
So I don't know, Ryan. We can start with that, but I found it hard to keep my attention, Ryan. I even dozed off a little during the triple threat match. Again, what's funny is I like people on this card too. Like the wrestlers are not the problem per se, who they are. Some of them, I just didn't care, Ryan, or the stories weren't there, or some of these characters have become very stale.
Well, we're in a downtime, obviously.
Certainly.
After Mania, there's definitely a downtime. They brought King of the Ring back to give it a little bit of juice. And then yesterday or the day before, whatever it was, they announced that the winner will get the main event at SummerSlam. So that's kind of new, although they've done that in the past. They said once on the show here today that it only happened in 2002. And I'm like, didn't Mabel automatically get the title shot? Didn't Owen Hart automatically get the title shot at Brett? So whatever, I don't know. But that gave it a little more juice. I agree. I was bored to death with this show. Maybe that's going to make people turn this off immediately. There was just nothing to it. And then as we'll get into some of the matches, the last couple were good, and I was intrigued by who it was in those matches. But some of the other ones, it was like, and some of the things that happened during the show made me very much question the decision making. And we'll get into it. Let's start right at the beginning. I turned it on, and it was the pre-show, and they did like 5 minutes of people walking in. Like, I know how exciting people got when they first started doing that. People are like, this is so cool. This is so cool. Well, it's not cool anymore because you do it every night. And then today they did like 8 dudes walk in. Then they did the open. Then they went back to more dudes walking in. And I'm just like, okay, we got it. They're walking with a suitcase. Like, what are you doing? What are you trying to prove? Don't do it every time. If you do the same thing all the time, it gets old. You do it here and there. It's fun. I'm like, we're not getting off to a good start here.
They could mix it up. I've said this to you. You don't have to stop doing it. Maybe you see a guy in the lobby of the hotel getting ready to check out.
Yeah.
Maybe you're following someone in the car, the van, or the shuttle on the way over. Maybe you interview, or someone's in the back taping up a wrist.
Stretching, something.
Everybody arrives at the same time. Like, what the hell's going on?
And they put the clock up there like that matters. Oh, that was at 12:02. Who cares?
I will say, I don't know how many people got to see it. Bianca and Jade wrestled on the pre-show.
Yep.
And they have a new finisher I think people should check out. It's pretty cool.
Well, they did it in the last match too. But okay, go ahead.
It's just kind of this catapult thing. I like when tag teams have a combo finisher, so I just thought I'd say that. I think they beat Indy Hartwell and oh goodness,
and who cares?
Yeah, that would be the other one. So yeah,
Gargano's wife. I have a problem with that. Actually, I was going to bring it up. SmackDown last week, and now tonight. The whole story was Bianca's knee. The finisher is her kicking a girl up in the air with her leg, which is apparently broken.
Not anymore.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
That it was idiotic. It was idiotic. The whole story for 2 weeks has been her leg. And you do a finish where you catapult a girl up in the air with your leg?
What?
What are we doing? Like that?
I just didn't care. I just thought they work together. I mean, I'm interested to see where they go.
The move is cool, but it made no sense today. No.
And the team they were fighting, Ryan, we're getting, and I'm probably going to get hate for that. Got a lot of people showing up who I'm just like, what are you doing here, man? Like, you're not ready to be on prime time. You don't have it yet. Maybe you will, but there's a lot of people from NXT that are just not ready, man.
Especially the tag teams.
Oh, dear Lord. Yes.
Okay. First match, women's world title match. Mm-hmm. It is Liv. It is Becky. Mm-hmm. Liv is doing the revenge tour thing. This match ends when Dominic comes down. Liv has been seen in the background walking out of Dominic's room. She's been showing up with Damian Priest in a car. So obviously there's some kind of in cahoots here with the Judgment Day. Something's going to happen. Dominic throws a chair into the ring, supposedly to go to Becky. It backfires. She gets DDT'd or whatever it is on the thing. And then the finisher
Liv hits the oblivion.
Liv wins the world title. Your thoughts on the match and where they're going with the Liv angle, what's she going to do, and your thoughts on Liv being now the champion.
I thought I don't know if you noticed this, the introduction of the wrestlers was really cool for the title matches. They had like a crisp nameplate below, and the camera kind of went to a different pan angle, kind of like that. Gave it a big fight feel. So I'll give them that. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Ryan, this one is one that we could back up a little bit. I felt like Becky, they just gave her that belt. I don't ever think I've ever seen a belt gifted to someone more. Maybe DiBiase got it when they bought it for him. But Becky,
their hands were kind of tied. Obviously,
they were. I would have gave it to Liv then. Like I don't know what Becky hasn't. And I love Becky is like probably my second favorite, maybe all time behind Trish. She hasn't been this stale since before she unveiled the man gimmick, if you will. Back when she had the goggles on and it was, not really great. I don't know what they're doing with her. It doesn't feel
stale.
It is so stale. And, Liv, Ryan.
You suck, pal.
I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, she's gotten... From where she started, she got better. It's still not good. Does that make sense?
I wouldn't. People are probably already hanging up. I wouldn't go that far. I think she's terrible.
It's not good.
She cannot talk. Like Sasha Banks looks at her and goes, "You need to learn how to cut a promo." That's how bad she is.
That's right. It stinks.
It's not great. I get it because they're obviously Rhea is gonna show up and she's gonna be a face. There is no way they can. So they have to find some way to move her as long as Judgment Day is still a heel faction, if you will. They can't keep that. She's going to get popped. So Liv, I guess, comes in. They're going to throw Dom with her, I bet, because I think Becky asked for a rematch Monday.
She did.
So you're going to probably see that. But yeah, I just see Dom switching over. The women's division is brutal right now, Ryan. There's nothing of interest to me. I mean, I know we have Jade and Bianca to look forward to down the road, hopefully, if this pans out. But other than that, I mean, I don't, even though they're the tag team champions, who they fight? Who are they going to fight? They just, the division.
There's no tag teams.
They're just women thrown together. They don't have tag team. They beat the only tag team, the Kabuki Warriors.
Right.
So now they're off to just fighting Baszler and the other girl, Zoe Starks or whatever her tag team partner, But it's a real stale division. I didn't think this match was that great. I get Liv winning. It makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
You know,
and she'll hold the belt, and then obviously whenever Rhea's back, something's going to happen there, and Rhea will be the good guy. I mean, they kept saying, "Mommy can't be happy, Mommy can't." So I mean, they already turned her. You know, they already tuned her.
How long? Do you know how long Rhea's out?
No, I mean, we don't know exactly. It's her shoulder, but we don't know exactly what it was. Did she tear her labrum? We don't know.
Because I'm wondering if we're going to get a hold off on Dom officially siding with Liv up until Rhea returns, or are we going to see it before Rhea? I guess that's one of the only. But again, Ryan, that angle just isn't. I mean, it's not the worst thing ever, but it's not grabbing me, brother.
Well, and it's because of Liv. I mean, there's nothing to her. I mean, you watch her cut a promo in every single one, whether she's happy, sad, mad, whatever, every one. It's like there's nothing in there. Her eyes get all big and she talks like this, and I will not. It's like it's empty. And what comes out of her mouth is empty. It's just words. And again, you don't know if she's happy or sad or whatever. She's
just really focusing on remembering what to say to me.
And that's
it's not flowing smooth. It's not, like it doesn't just roll off. She like Dusty Rhodes, the Macho Man, Hogan,
anybody,
Rock, anybody who's a stick person. It just sounds staged. It sounds scripted. And she's really struggling to get through it and remember it. Maybe it's all time
bad. It's all time bad. It's really bad. And it makes me, no matter what she's involved in, it just makes me not care about it. All right.
I'd agree.
Next one, IC titles. Sammy against Gable, against Bronson Reed. Lots of near falls here, lots of big moves. It ends with Gable getting mad at Otis, as he has been the last few weeks.
Otis screws up.
Otis accidentally clotheslines Gable. Gable gets knocked out. Sammy's in the ring, gives the haluva kick, and he wins. Any thoughts on this?
Again, another angle coming in here. I guess the feud is between Sammy and Gable. But it's not there.
The feud's between Gable and his team.
Right, and I guess Sammy's and Bronson Reed is the third wheel.
Just there.
I don't know why he's even in on this. Why he couldn't be the next in line for one of these two guys to fight or something. I don't know, but yeah, it just. Right, I'm sorry, Chad Gable. He's not there for me, man. I don't think he's terrible.
No,
but it just. I don't want to watch him fight Otis. I think the feud with him and Sammy has been mediocre at best. It's all based on I trained you and then you gave me the shot. I couldn't beat you and now I'm mad. Okay, I guess.
Well, it's got to be over now, right? I mean, it's got to be over.
I think he's transitioning to his group now, right? Because and then but again, this is another like Otis. What do you do with this? Is not a guy who's done well on his own, Ryan.
He did kind of, and then they cut his legs out from under.
They gave him, they did. I just don't know I just don't see this guy main eventing, right? I don't see Otis main eventing.
No chance. I mean, he's a mid card at best.
He seems like a right hand man, a tag team partner, the second guy. He just doesn't seem like the main character in a story.
Yeah, I mean, the best he's ever done is when he had a love interest, and at that point, he's white sexual chocolate. Right. It's a comedy gimmick, which is fine. You need that.
You can't. Everybody can't main event.
Yeah, I think they need to get back to that though, and hopefully here they are because he's just kind of been wasted in the meantime. I wrote down this match was a good match and everything, but
it's fine.
Everything you just said, I didn't have any interest whatsoever. I knew Sammy was gonna win. They've been teasing the breakup of these guys for a while. Figured that have something to do with it. I wrote down, though, this is like watching AEW.
Yeah.
It's just moves.
It's just matches.
And it's fine. It's good. But I have no vested interest in this whatsoever.
And that's why people can say this is your downtime, but you got to give people something to care about. I don't care if it's downtime. This is not good. It's not interesting. It's not. I get you got everything.
There's no investment. There's no investment in this at all.
None whatsoever.
Okay, then we get to the women's Queen of the Ring match. Okay, if you think we've been like mean before, how did this match get on a pay-per-view?
Excellent question.
This is some girl.
How did Lyra Valkyrie get on this pay-per-view?
How? I don't know who this is.
She's
I
a vulture.
Watch NXT. She showed up the other week.
Yeah.
I don't know who, and I know you do even more than me. I don't hate Nia Jax the way most people
I like
hate Nia Jax.
I do.
Do I think she should be the queen? No, but a lot of people don't like her. And then there's a person that I don't watch NXT, so I don't know who this person is. Now the finish was sweet.
Yes,
like the finish was awesome. She was going for a power bomb off the top rope, and Nia squashes her, man, with her finish, the Annihilator. Yeah. That was a sweet finish. Triple H comes out. She's bad guy, mind you. Gives her a crown, hugs her, and talks to her in her ear for quite a while. Nia starts crying, like real life. I don't know what he said to her, but she like starts crying. And she's a bad guy, though. What are we doing? And then she gets on the mic, just cuts off Kayla, starts ripping on the crowd. I'm like,
it was weird.
That's exactly what I wrote. This is weird. That's Nick. That is exactly. We are hugging bad guys and giving them pep talks. ? This is weird. That's what I wrote.
Yeah.
This pay-per-view.
I think they tried to do something, because if you remember in early King of the Rings, the ceremony was much more, and there was more investment with Bret Hart.
There was a stage over there.
All that Austin and but the thing to me, there's a couple that this tournament to me only works if it's done in one night, because it's just matches, right?
Yeah,
it's just matches over a period of freaking time with two people fighting, and it's got to be done right too. I like the idea of it being worth something, because the idea of a king and queen is not exciting to me.
Right.
If we look back, I even mentioned this to you a while ago. How many have really worked? I mean, Bret worked to a degree to get him over, but he wasn't King Bret Hart.
Right.
You know, King of Hearts.
It was just an accomplishment.
Right. Owen Hart, it worked. The King of Hearts. It's cool. It worked. There were a few people it worked. King Mabel, the tournament at least got him over, I guess. It's a terrible shot, but I mean, it's all they had. But at least, I mean, he did beat the Taker. But
they somewhat legitimized him for a month.
They tried to get him because he had to get a main event for SummerSlam.
Right.
But I mean, you get going other than that. I mean, yeah, Austin had the interview at the end, but it wasn't really
nobody cared that he beat Jake. It was the interview.
It was the interview, you know. I mean, so many of these are forgettable. Sheamus, Kurt Angle, Booker, I guess, made it, but especially Xavier Woods. I just think they need to mark. I like that they're getting this for a shot at something, because I don't like the King thing. It just doesn't work anymore. It's not 1988 with Race, Haku, Duggan, and Savage, and when it was cool. I will give this. I think this is just a pump in the arm for Nia Jax. I don't know that she's going to get the belt, but they keep pumping her up, and I do like Jax because she's different, Ryan. She's not the same cardboard cutout of the rest of the roster. Yeah. You have to have different people, and I do think Nia, she gets out there, she ragdolls them. I don't think she's bad in that ring as everybody says she is. I mean, she's better than Liv. But you know, I mean, and I'd rather watch her than Liv.
And she's hurt less people than Willow Nightingale.
Right. So
write that one down, people, because it's true.
It's true. You know,
because it's true.
She fights Bailey. Is she on that brand now?
I would assume she's fighting Bailey. Yeah.
And you know, does she beat Bailey? I mean, I don't know if she beats Bailey. Bailey doesn't really need that.
Let me tell you something. I don't.
Yeah, care. I know it's going to be another one that the women's division, man.
It's bad.
We talked about a couple years ago. It was hot as could be.
As could be.
The main event in WrestleMania, for God's sakes, Ryan. You know, it was they were on top of the world. The Man, the Charlotte Flair, all these people were Bianca's fresh on the scene, they just had people go, and they've just kind of ran their course.
Yeah.
They've all fought each other, and
they're all stale, and the girls who aren't
over.
Clearly aren't ready or not over. Yeah.
No. The NXT girls are not. I'm sorry, Ryan. They're not good. Maybe they could get better.
Where they're currently at. Yeah.
No, it's
not good. And we'll get to a little of that here coming up. There's your television tease for you. We will get to that in a second. Then Becky had her interview right after that, and she kept saying, "Why was Dom out there? Why was Dom out there?" So they're obviously, we know what's going on there. Getting the rematch on Monday. Then we have Dudes King of the Ring. It's Randy Orton. It's Gunther. This was the one match on the show. I did not know what was going to happen. Right. Very intrigued here because no idea. Your thoughts on this? I will get to it here in a minute. Gunther wins, botched finish.
Yeah.
And here's another thing. Randy's teasing the knee all night. We just teased the knee with Bianca. How many knees are going to get hurt tonight? This week?
He apparently got hurt versus Tom Carr on SmackDown.
Okay, well, that's 2 knees you're doing. You're doing the same gimmick with 2 different people on the same show. Yeah. What are we doing? We got to start looking at Triple H and wondering what's going on. And the finishes to a lot of these matches. The main event, the finish, again, a goofy finish. We got to start looking at this guy and going, what's going on here? Because this wasn't good, dude. Oh. And anyway, but then the botched finish, the shoulder was clearly up. 1, 2, 3. They actually addressed that on social media afterwards.
Yeah, Triple H.
Yeah,
and he said decision's final.
And he says, the decision's final, but Randy's going to get another shot, so we can lose again. What are we doing here? Or are they going to triple threat it? I'm not sure. Anyway, your thoughts on the match?
The match was okay. Nothing special to me again. It wasn't bad, wasn't great, but they ruined I can't believe they just murdered the RKO. That was
twice.
Nuts. Hit him twice, and he no-sold the last one, dude. He just rolled him up, man.
And then they're like, he took a shot at his knee. He literally flicked his knee. He literally just flicked it. The guy who does nothing but chop people, and his stomps were awful in that match too.
Oh man,
bogus!
I wonder if he's worried because I have heard. I don't know if you can second this. I've heard there's been complaint, Orton does complain about people working stiff with him. I have heard that before in the back, and I'm wondering if Gunther,
Ken Anderson was the big one.
There you go. Yeah, Gunther is known for being a little bit more of a live round, stiff worker. I'm wondering if he was making sure to take care of Orton out there, but he really made sure, man, because we know
those stomps were bad.
Yeah, they were. I noticed that too. But just Gunther, I've said it. The title defined him, and then he kind of lost it. Now he's being defined by the King of the Ring. This guy needs to grow some, man. He is talking fine. I don't hate the guy, but he's just another dude out there. There was no real feud between any of these King of the Ring matches, so you kind of had to sell, I guess, the tournament. This is kind of a big match, Gunther and Orton, just to give away in a tournament final. No feud, no story, no nothing.
Well, it was big because you didn't know who was going to win because there is built-in, obviously, Cody-Randy feud because they were boys back in the day. But I had told you last night, I'm like, I don't want to see that just because of the King of the Ring. I want them to not like each other. And obviously that didn't happen because Gunther won here. But it is something to kind of give this match away. But I did think it was intriguing, so I'm not going to knock it based on that.
You didn't know. I don't know. I think they're a little scared. Yeah, I don't know. You put Orton in the ring with Cody because Orton has his fans. They're not going to boo. Their people aren't going to boo Randy Orton. I don't think they will, man. He's
a 20+ year guy. I mean, he is a legend, and people don't boo legends.
You don't want to get Austin Taker again, that was really bad. Yeah. So I think that's why they may steer away from that. and Gunther will now is the next pay-per-view is the Castle, right?
Yep. 3 weeks, which Triple H then came on after this match and said, I have breaking news. Drew is cleared. Drew will fight Damian Priest at the Castle. Now, I thought right before that, I wrote down, well, who the heck is Gunther going to fight? He's got to be fighting Priest, right? Well, not now. Like, Drew's not going to lose in Glasgow. There's no
Damian
way.
Priest? I mean, maybe if it was Roman, but no, he ain't losing to freaking...
He ain't losing at home. You know, people were mad about the first clash that he lost.
So,
well, he was in Wales, first of all. He wasn't at home. Now he's literally home. He ain't
and Ryan,
he's not losing.
He was against the greatest wrestler of this era in Roman Reigns.
Right.
Now he's against the makeup.
Some guy.
What did he say? The eyeliner guy?
Did he say that?
He said he's the eyeliner guy on Monday Night Raw. Drew is awesome, man.
Oh, he's great. He's the best thing in the company right now. Without it, and unfortunately, he was not here tonight. So, so Triple H is out here again, and he hands the crown and everything. No hugging this time, no pep talk, but he hands the crown to him. Yeah, the finish really bothered me. Not as much, things happened. The shoulder was up. I just thought it was bad. Like, he flicks him like that in the knee, and that kills him, and he gets rolled up. I thought that was very weak. Very weak. Cole said something during this match, too. Cole says, I like the guy and everything, but I believe Sammy's win over Gunther was a fluke.
I heard that.
And I'm sitting, if that wasn't the most Triple H thing to ever say, he thinks he's putting Gunther over.
You make Sammy
but
look
doesn't
bad.
Realize the reciprocal. He makes Sammy look like a boob.
I'm an asshole.
Oh, well, and guess what? Sammy just beat 2 guys today, 2-on-1. He beat them today. So what's that make those guys? Like,
worse than him.
What are you thinking? Dude, this show really bothered me.
Yeah.
It really bothered me. There are so many things like that. Little things. Like, do you realize you just made Sammy look like a boob? And he's your announcer. Like, the face of your company saying this. The voice box of your company says you're number 2 champion.
Upset.
He's saying your number 2 champion sucks.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I mean, even just the way you word it, he escaped at WrestleMania. Boy, I'd like to see them run that back again, or something like that. Not just, dude, I don't know how that guy freaking won't. It's like when Triple H is like, trying to put you a spot on the card, dude. We'll see if we can. They just bury people, man. They don't, and you're right. They think they're pumping up the other guy.
But you're killing the other guy in the meantime.
Right. It's the same thing as, they say these little things, like, listen, even on the Rumble bothers me, like, Kane has been in this many Rumbles and eliminated this many people. My next thing I say is, though,
how many has he won?
Never won. He never wins, man. Like, watch what you leave open on these comments, buddy. Yeah. Did not make Sammy sound good. Did not make the IC title sound good. And it got me all focused off the match. It wasn't really a bump for Gunther or a rub for Gunther either.
Yeah, and there's ways to do that too. Like, he had the match of his life. He came to play. He had the performance of his life.
Sure.
Gunther, he caught Gunther. There's ways to say it without going, yeah, it's a fluke. Last match, Cody, Logan. This match made no sense to me whatsoever. I knew going in they will probably fight again. But we had one part where Cody beats up a fan. He's your face. Who cares what a fan is saying to you? He yanks some fan, which was a Logan Paul guy, obviously, to distract him. But he beats him up. And then he gets brass knucks, whatever. Then this whole brass knucks thing happened. Then Michael Cole starts berating Logan Paul. What is Michael Cole doing talking to a wrestler like that during the match? That made no sense to me. Then the finish is some guy pulling Logan Paul and keeping him from hurting Cody. Some guy who no one outside of Saudi Arabia has a clue who he is. And that's how this match ends.
You've got to be
kidding me?
Even going in, Ryan, it was when it was both belts, you were like, okay, how are they getting out of that? I was thinking, oh man, we're gonna see a DQ or count out finish. This is gonna suck. And then they went to one belt, and you're like, okay, he's not winning now, 100%.
Right.
His belt's not even on the line. This was just, I think, again, Cody's had two bad feuds, really, Ryan, since WrestleMania. I thought the AJ feud was very, and I wanted to see the AJ feud.
Yeah, you love AJ.
Yeah, we had said that on this show. We had assumed
right.
AJ is the next guy up. Didn't really deliver for me, Ryan. It wasn't the worst feud ever, but this one I felt the same way. Like, why is the United States champion facing the world champion? Why do we need to do this right now?
Because there's nobody else for him to fight, which we said with AJ. That's how we got to AJ, because we were like, there's nobody else.
I thought AJ would fight him twice. I really did.
Yeah, and now I assume he's going to fight Logan twice.
Yes, maybe, or something like that. But yeah, and I thought Logan was bad in this feud on the mic,
really,
on SmackDown. Yeah, I love Logan Paul.
Okay, I didn't see that. I thought he was good.
On the mic on SmackDown, he just didn't seem into it. I did think Cody delivered a pretty good promo on SmackDown, saying how good you're not ever gonna be me type deal, you know. And Logan always does deliver with the matches. There's always some sweet crap. Again, I'm a huge Logan. Folks, I don't know anything about him outside of the wrestling world. Right. I don't follow him on Instagram or media, social media. He's great as a wrestler. He's got the it factor.
Yep.
But
he's a perfect heel. You just want to punch that guy.
But I just didn't want to see this match. I want to see Logan run for. I don't like when your champion gets pinned, Ryan. I'm not big on that. Yeah, because it really degrades. To me, I think this match hurt Logan Paul more than it helped Cody Rhodes. I didn't think Cody Rhodes needed to pin this guy. Certainly didn't need him to get Cody to get pinned. But yeah, the match was just. I mean, yeah, the ending, I guess, weird. I don't know.
Logan says to the guy after he grabs him, he goes, quote, "Who the hell are you?"
Yeah.
And then that's what I said, too. I'm like, yeah, exactly. Why are announcers getting involved in these matches?
I guess they're setting up, Ryan, this is what I read. Who's the Pat versus Paul at SummerSlam?
Really?
He's supposed to come. Again, this is just what I read. I could be wrong, folks. But he may come to Cole's aid, and we get Pat McAfee versus Logan Paul at SummerSlam, maybe. I don't know. Because I'm not what I don't think
Who wants to see that?
I don't know. Again, what I read, but it does look like.
Well, that makes sense because Cole got in his face, and the guest ring announcer got in his face and cost him. So that makes perfect sense that Pat would then come to his rescue. That makes sense, but I don't like it. But it does. That does make sense. These finishes, man. A lot of these distraction finishes and things, not good. You know, I don't know what Triple H is doing. I don't like all these NXT people up here who I don't know, who I don't think are ready for prime time.
Right. No, Brian, we're in I think we're in, when you start dating someone and you're in the first 3 months and everything is puppy dogs, roses, and ice cream, and you're not really seeing everything. I think that's what we're in the Triple H era right here. Everybody is so excited, and God knows
Vince is gone. Thank God.
Vince is gone. And hey, me and you have never been Vince guys.
Ever.
I mean, we have said what we've said in support or against angles, stories, characters, whatever. But this is vastly overrated how great this era has been. Yes, you finished the story with Cody.
Well, I'll say it again. I'll tell you what was great. I'll tell you what turned their fortunes around. A guy named Roman Reigns.
Yes, that was it. And yeah.
That's what did it. And that angle and the bloodline. And of course, Cody had something to do with that as well. But all of that, that's why everything was great.
The bloodline storyline is the show, right? And I mean, it really is. When you look at the rest, there's some cool people, but man, a lot of them aren't doing any. I mean, what's Seth Rollins really doing? I mean, what's LA Knight really doing?
Well, I was just going to bring that up when you mentioned Pat, because a lot of people figured, and they teased it actually a week or two ago, LA Knight and Logan Paul face-to-face in the back, and everybody thought they were going to fight at Mania. Now they assume SummerSlam. Pat's going to pull what everybody said, a Rock, and come in here and take that spot. And people want to see LA Knight beat Logan Paul. They don't want to see Pat McAfee. They want to see LA Knight.
I agree. I don't want to see Pat McAfee. But I don't. I'm hoping I'm Ryan. I hope I read wrong. I don't want.
Well, that makes sense. No, that makes sense. Nick, we only got a couple minutes here before we get booted. Obviously stating the obvious. If you've stuck with us here for the last half hour, this is the most disappointed I've been watching the WWE pay-per-view since like the pandemic.
Yeah, this is since
I was really disappointed with this.
Yes, since Roman's not yes, before Bloodline. Ryan, I am not excited about anything. I don't care if you're watching Impact, Dynamite, or WWE. There is nothing that excites me right now in wrestling until he comes back.
Yeah.
I mean,
and we don't know when that's going to be. Well, okay, so a lot of people think next year it's going to be Rock against Cody at Mania. In fact, Brian Gewirtz even said as much. He would rather see Rock Cody instead of Rock Roman. He said that on Busted Open this week. And now, if we're getting Drew probably winning the belt, well, Drew and Gunther aren't going to fight at SummerSlam. So we're getting Drew and Cody, Gunther and Cody at SummerSlam, you would assume, right? I mean, that's the way it looks now.
Who's Gunther's show on? Isn't Gunther on Raw, though?
I don't think it matters. Maybe it's like the Rumble.
He said specific brand.
Did he?
He said they can challenge. Yes, they will. So it's going to be Gunther Drew at SummerSlam, I think, or unless this finish is now reverted and we get Orton McIntyre at SummerSlam. But no, I am still holding out, Ryan. Fingers crossed. I don't want Cody Rock at Mania. I want Cody Rock at SummerSlam, if that's possible. Again,
which we don't know if it is.
We don't. This is why people always say The Rock, who's bring him in like he just like the guy's me, like he just has the summer off. You know, I mean, he's not doing anything. He's done. He wrapped up. But it just I that's what I would want to see. I still think Rock Roman. They're both bigger than Cody. They deserve to clash at WrestleMania, man. In my opinion. I'm sorry. Yeah. I like Cody too, guys. I'm not dogging. I like Cody. I know.
Yeah, I don't think his reign so far. Again, it's a downtime. These are just kill time shows, but it's not been great so far. It has not been great. We will see if he fights Gunther. We will see what happens with that. Nick, as always, man, thanks for being here.
Thanks, guys.
And thanks everybody. Hopefully you made it through. Sorry we were so negative. We have been very positive about pretty much every pay-per-view, even these
really bummed
pay-per-views for a long time. I'm very bummed. I did not think I was going to come on here today and murder this show, but that's
usually these pay-per-views last couple years have shocked us after Mania. We go in thinking they're going to be terrible, and they're great.
Please hit like. Please hit subscribe. Please share this. Tell your friends. Do whatever. We appreciate you guys watching. And until next time, job, guys. Ow!
You smell something, it's us, because we're the stuff.